Evening news presented by Addition Financial Credit Union. Count us in.
Happening now. Brightline service between Orlando and Miami is chugging along. Today is the first official day of the near high-speed rail service. We're taking you to the tracks with everything you need to know, from safety to the impact on Central Florida's economy to how long it will take you to get there. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. I'm Tammy Fields. Greg has a night off. You can now get down to Miami from Orlando in under 4 hours. Brightline trains are running at speeds of up to 125 miles an hour along the beach line and down I-95. It is a big day for our economy and crews who have been working for years to enhance transportation right here in Central Florida. We'll have much more coming up this hour, but first, we want to get the very latest as we head into the weekend when it comes to weather with certified meteorologist Chris Gilson. Beautiful weather, at least for this evening ahead.
Yeah, it looks nice out there, Tammy. Here from this vantage point, this is Flagler Beach. However, we're looking at rough ocean conditions from distant tropical storm Ophelia, which we'll go into a little later on in this hour. A live look there along the coast showing those quiet skies overhead. We'll stay rain-free and dry through the remainder of this evening. Temperatures right now in the low to mid 80s, 84 in Sanford, 86 in Leesburg, 85 in the Villages. It is 83 in Kissimmee. Take a look at these overnight lows dipping all the way down into low to mid 60s. That weekend forecast is coming up at 5:11.
We are monitoring some breaking news at this hour. Orlando police officers are currently investigating a shooting along Mercy Drive. One person was shot, was found there. They were taken to the hospital. Officers got a description of a car involved. Police found that car, they say. We're told a pursuit was authorized and ended along Old Winter Garden Road near John Young Parkway. This is a look at that scene. Now, 3 people were found in a car. One was shot. That person was taken to the hospital in critical condition. Orlando police say another person involved was shot and dropped off at the hospital. We are working to get an update on the timeline of all of this. We'll bring you any new information just as soon as we learn of it. Back to our Brightline coverage now. Today is a milestone for Florida, but also for the United States as a whole. Brightline is the first private intercity passenger service to begin U.S. operations in a century. The company is also building a line connecting Southern California and Las Vegas. The goal is to start that service in 2027. The only other U.S. high-speed line is Amtrak's Acela service. It's between Boston and Washington, D.C. Here locally, we have team coverage this evening from all along the new active train route. Our Maciel Leyva rode the train to and from Miami today, and our Nicole Griffin is here in Orlando looking at the economic impact. First, though, we want to begin with our Greg Pallone. He is live for us in Brevard County this evening. Good evening, Greg.
Hi, good evening, Tammy. There are 50 crossings here in Brevard County, railroad crossings at least. Melbourne has the most, and we're talking down from Cocoa down to Sebastian as far as where Brightline will be operating. While overall safety is important at railroad tracks, the high-speed trains are another level, meaning everyone crossing them must be proactive and responsible. It's all about fresh and tasty for Dom D'Angelo and her pop-up Dom's Coffee Spot. She grew up in the kitchen, and as an Italian, she says she wants to make the perfect cup of joe every time.
I thought that was really important to bring that to the community with fresh ingredients, fresh syrups, pastries, you know, old school style.
For much of her 3 years in business, she's positioned herself steps away from the railroad tracks in downtown Melbourne. There's lots of traffic with patrons parking nearby to shop and also a ton of foot traffic as people stroll right by. But there's something new coming around the bend. Friday, Brightline began passenger service from Orlando International Airport to Miami. It means these sounds will become more frequent as the trains come and go. Of the 50 crossings in Brevard, Melbourne has the most, 16. Trains will be going 79 miles per hour through most of the cities. Melbourne police strongly encourage anyone going over the tracks by car or by foot to keep safety at the top of mind.
Too many crashes annually for trains, and now you got a high-speed train coming through. So everybody needs to take the extra steps necessary to make sure that they're safe.
Safety reminders including being alert and following the law around active railroad tracks. Be aware trains could be coming from both directions. Stay off the tracks and never go around crossing gates and never stop on the tracks. Dom is already talking to her customers about the passenger trains, and just today, when the very first one came through, she warned a bicyclist.
Say, hold on, wait, because he was riding his bike, and I don't know if he saw it, but he just kept going, but he did stop, thankfully. But so yeah, I'm definitely going to be on the watch out.
Yeah, definitely need to be mindful of that now. Now, signs are up near the tracks advising everyone in the area that these new fast, high-speed trains are in operation. Live in Melbourne, in Brevard County, Greg Pallone, Spectrum News 13.
Thank you, Greg. The inaugural trip from Miami this morning had to slow down. A pedestrian was killed after being hit by a Brightline train heading south. This is a look at the scene. It happened around 7 a.m. in Delray Beach. Since 2018, when Miami and West Palm Beach operations began, 99 people have been hit and killed by Brightline trains. None of the deaths, however, were found to be Brightline's fault. With the new option of Brightline, there is now more than one way to get from Central Florida to South Florida. But what about Brightline is so compelling that people would choose it over driving or flying? Spectrum News 13's Maciel Leiva spoke to passengers on that very first ride from Orlando to Miami to find out why they chose to travel this way.
It's an experience not much different than an airline, but for Miles Taylor, it's a rider experience he wanted to feel for himself.
I'm really into trains and transit, so I actually flew here from Boston last night to come and ride this, because this is a big event.
As a transportation enthusiast, he's always tried new things. For him, riding on a train that reaches speeds of 125 miles per hour was something he says he didn't want to miss.
And I've been interested in trains since I was a little kid, and transit in general, so this is very exciting. I hope that we see more like this, just more new trains. We need more trains in this country.
The 3.5-hour Brightline trip takes about 30 minutes less than driving by car, but it's a bit more expensive. For Taylor, it's all about the experience.
I think in general, for the experience you get, you've got a lot more time to work on Brightline. So let's say you're spending the day at work, you have these big tray tables you can put your laptop on. The Wi-Fi has been very speedy.
He says he likes the convenience factor and the competitive price starting at $79 one way, which beats some of the airline ticket prices.
I think that Brightline is the best mix of price, comfort, and speed of any of the ways to get between Miami and Orlando.
He also says he likes the ability to work while on board the train, with high-speed Wi-Fi available for free and plenty of legroom.
Whereas with driving, you have to focus on the road, you can't relax like you would on a plane or train. But then Brightline beats most flights in terms of price.
Other passengers mentioned they like the fact that it's something new, fast, and they can lay back and relax without having to drive, pay for gas and tolls. Plus an added bonus, they can bring their dog with them on the train. Whatever the reason is you prefer it, Miles says he will definitely be riding the Brightline again.
If you're going between Miami and Orlando, absolutely try this out. It's decently cheap for what you're getting. It's a pretty quick trip, and I with any luck, it'll make you like trains more, because we need more trains, and this is a very good train.
In Orlando, Maciel Leiva, Spectrum News.
Coming up at the bottom of the hour, our Nicole Griffin is taking a closer look at the economic impact of Brightline's Orlando service as hotels and businesses prepare for an influx of visitors from South Florida. That story and more continues in our next half hour. Pushing for more support after multiple overdoses, how a group of mothers is coming together to ensure that all children receive support they may not know they're even in need of. Before we get to that story, we want to continue to talk about our weather as we head into the weekend. Not too bad?
Yeah, it's beautiful out there, Tammy. Remember last night we had all the storms around, quieter skies this evening. How long these quiet conditions stick around is coming up when we come back with your weather on the ones.